are from Yoruba land, and being from Yoruba land, and Yoruba being forcefully part of Nigeria, so they end that invitation by association or so as Yoruba, but they've used all the available opportunities to defend themselves, fend for themselves, and at the same time put the interest of Yoruba land at the back burner. At the back, completely back bench of the conversation and discussion and then decision making in Nigeria. So it's pretty much about themselves. So some of us have separated ourselves from that, and we want so many people to know why. And they too should separate themselves from that system. We present ourselves as people who are educated, exposed, enlightened, and pretty much kind of advanced in our, reasoning and all that, only for greed of the few to continue to cage us, cower us, and then limit us, and sadly so, killing us as well. So as a Yoruba man, the Yorubas finding their roots, finding ourselves. You see, sometimes when you use the word taking us out of the the slavery and the enslavement of our association with Nigeria can sometimes be a little bit triggering for some people. Like, we are not slaves, we are just slaves of our own fear, which is now pretty much understandable. So if we have anything to do to turn the clock, or to turn the hand of the clock, or to change the pattern and all that, we would definitely have to break ourselves away from the shackle and the chain of our fear. So enough of talking in parables and all around it. I have come to term that and I'm not just alone. There are so many like myself, like yourself, watching me right now, that Nigeria is an hopeless situation. Okay, and every now and then, people kind of want to try to salvage the problems, right? In their own little way, they pretended want to salvage it, but in the process of trying to salvage it, the Nigeria problem, what do? They multiply the problems, and the multiplier effect is that it gets worse than it was before they offered to fix it. So some of us believe that there is no point in fixing it because we know why it can be fixed, until we all come to term like that and put actions into our words that no, we don't want this anymore. Then we'll continue to get the same thing again and again and again, which is what the likes of Tinubu and co, what they promote. We should, by now, we should have had, in Yoruba land, for example, with this level of degeneration and even poverty, we should have had a chance where those who claim to be elders in Yoruba land, the young, the old, they would have started the mobilization that would demand the non-participation of Yorubas in validation of another fraud. But because the key people who are supposed to do that, they are at the forefront of those who want to take over the mantle of that oppressive system, they have been benefiting from it. Now that they are not doing that, we are taking it upon ourselves to tell every soul in Yoruba land why they must never, ever be sandwiched or manipulated into believing in the selfish one Nigeria agenda that their fellow Yoruba brothers and sisters are going to be selling to them. We need to now go in between and then let those that needed to be saved from the hands, and or let me say from the tongues of the, or let me say the lying tongues of these Yoruba sons and daughters who have now turned to betrayers of their own people. Nigeria, oneness Nigeria, is injurious to the people of Yoruba land, not just us, to the people of Yoruba land. And it is an ideal thing for those who say they speak for Yoruba people, for those who have been benefiting from claiming to be representing the Yoruba people in Project Nigeria, it is enough, in my own view, that, I mean, put it this way, let's put it this way. They have the chance, but they choose not to speak for you. They choose not to stand for you. They choose not to even care for you, but they care for Nigeria because Nigeria care for them and not for you. So until we get to that, to build up, I mean, to link that bridge between why Nigeria is not working and why, as Yorubas in Nigeria today, why we should do away with any ideology, any message that continue to tell us to hold on, it's going to be, or wait for our turn. It's going to get to our turn, or it's going to get to this person's turn, or wait for the next one, validate this and that. So we must rise against a such in Yoruba land. The false hope and false expectation built by criminal politicians, PDP, APC, and others, religious criminals who continue to manipulate you and give you fake and fraudulent prophecies that are planned, programmed, and then managed in a way to condition you towards whatever the political class who have been ruining us, whatever they want done or whatever they want you to do. They can use their religious counterparts to intimidate you into believing them. So we should call ourselves the Crusaders. And the Crusaders are going to be the Yorubas who will liberate the minds of those who have been conditioned to believe that Nigeria may work if they wait, or maybe Nigeria is going to work if they starve, if they suffer more, maybe if they suffer a little bit more, Nigeria is going to come back and work for them. Now, we would be those Crusaders that would tell them, no, it's not going to be. They lied to our parents. They lied to their own parents. This is how it's happened, right? You know, our progenitors, our forebearers, those who came before us, they lied to them that all they needed was to cooperate and let those criminals of those era do what they thought would be the right thing for the sake of for their own sake and the sake of the future of their children. Now, those who came after them didn't see that future. They joined in that servitude. They joined in that enslavement and slavery. They had no chance. They had no choice. And then those who came after them, and those who came after them, and those who came after them as well. Now, here we are. We are here now. And we are being conditioned to take up the same thing that our progenitors, our forebearers, our forefathers took. Maybe they didn't even take this much. They want us to take them because those who are currently in charge of our slavery and our enslavement, they are no longer people of different color than ours. They don't even speak different language than ours, which simply means that we have been turned against ourselves. Those who had the chance of protecting us, they decided to enslave us. They're making it, and they call us a rebel once we go against the status quo. All of these are the reasons why you should join the Crusaders that are going to take up opposition to every rigged norms and their teachings in Yoruba land, for example. The ideologies that makes us believe that the rogues who created our problems, our backwardness, those who are so deaf, dumb, and blind, wherever the conversation about our travails, our problems are being discussed, the problems caused by Nigeria on us, right? Wherever they are supposed to be discussed, those who claim to be speaking, those who are supposed to be speaking for us, those who are supposed to be representing us, but representing themselves and then turned us into this second fiddle. They called us Nigerians because they know Nigerians have no identity. Nigerians have no real identity, no definition of who is a Nigerian. Since we have no real definition, they told us to bury our own identity. Don't say you are Yoruba. Yoruba is not greater than Nigeria. Those who ensured of that are the people we are going to do away with and then liberate the minds of our people. The message of keeping quiet, the message of keeping or holding on. You see, the message of being gentle, and whatever they tell us or whatever they have managed to condition us as, the Yorubas are respectful. Yorubas are never expected to be so kind of confrontational. All these adjectives are pure bullshit that we must unlearn. Do you understand? We must begin. We must call ourselves those crusaders, the crusaders who are going to be liberating minds. The poverty that you see, the physical poverty you see in Yoruba land, those are just it's just a fraction of the level of poverty they have dipped us into. I'm talking about those who have agreed in total with everything that Nigeria thrown at us. When I say Nigeria thrown them at us, I'm talking about when Nigeria came together in 1957 to start with. Yorubas have been ruling ourselves. We got self-determination, self-rule before the rest of Nigeria. So we are not talking from, the position of imaginary or the position of imagination, so to say. We have been there before the rest of Nigeria got or tasted what was called independence, freedom. Yorubas have been ruling ourselves. We have been ruling ourselves. But guess what? From after 1966, every goddamn Yoruba man and woman who have had the opportunities to sit on the table where they are discussing Nigeria, where Yorubas are meant to be also, we're supposed to be at the front runner, decision makers, the decider of what happened in Nigeria by every right that we hand. But you see, we lost all of that the moment we started having rogues or moales, the Omoales in Yoruba land, who now grew up, gain access to power. They had the chance of representing Yoruba at that table. They call it Nigeria table, right? And when you send them there, they no longer speak for Yoruba. They no longer represent Yoruba. They now speak for themselves. They represent themselves. And when you say, no, that's not for us, how do I know they have not been speaking for you? They have not been speaking for us, my brothers and sisters, right? My fathers and mothers, my uncles and aunties. Trust me, the brethren in the temple of truth, right? If you don't believe me that these guys have not been representing you, if you don't actually have any means of believing, maybe if I tell you this, look around you. When they talk about poverty, capital of the world, they are talking about Nigeria. Yoruba is part of that. When they are talking about the country, put it this way, when they talk about the no electricity in Nigeria, they are talking about Yoruba land as well. The underdevelopment of Nigeria, the shithole that Nigeria has become, every part of things you've been told about Nigeria, or you know about Nigeria, or you've read about Nigeria, or you've confirmed about Nigeria, we have been sharer, partaker in every of those vice. And guess what? We are not different from the people of Borono. We're not different from the people of Niger. We are not different from some of those places where you've read about horrible things, poverty, famine, and then what have you. We are not different. For 60 years, there is no real industry in Yoruba land. There is no electricity in Yoruba land. There is no real good, no real road network in Yoruba land. There is no real medical system in Yoruba land. There is no dependable, reliable, and in fact, original or qualitative education in Yoruba land. And now we are just chasing shadows, scrapping the bottom of the barrels. We are poor because we have poor representatives from 1966 who have never represented Yoruba land but themselves, and they continue to do so. And the result of that is the poverty we are dealing with in Yoruba land, the backwardness we are dealing with in Yoruba land, the joblessness we are dealing with in Yoruba land. Look at our future, look at our young people. All these damages done in the last 60 years on the Yoruba people, done by Nigeria. They didn't do them single-handedly. They were done with the cooperation, with the support and the backing and the funding of Yoruba people, the Yoruba representatives in the project Nigeria. So don't look away, don't look around too far. This is the reason why I can tell you what they did to us. They did it to us. And that is why they can never be trusted. They can never be trusted. And as a Yoruba man, that project Nigeria is dead. And the people who call themselves representatives of the Yoruba people, they are not representatives of the Yoruba people. You will be the representatives of the Yoruba people. I will be the representative of the Yoruba people. Because if it's not Yoruba first, if they say it's Nigeria first, it is a scam and you should never be part of it. If you are part of it, you are validating it. Validating it means that you are an accomplice. Don't complain all the time afterward. Come on. We don't want to be complainers. We want to be doers. And I'm so happy on the Temple of Truth, Mayegun General, as the general overseer of the Temple of Truth, we have chosen our own battle. And then we are not pretending about it. And we are not looking back on it as well. I mean, we are Yoruba people, aren't we? We are Yoruba people. And then, there's something else we have done. We have decided never to be like the old, divisive, racist opportunists who have been parading themselves as Yoruba progressives, Tinubu and gang. If you want to look for those who are ethnic bigots, racist political criminals, those opportunists who can use religious fanaticism and anything else just to gain power, Tinubu and gang, they don't represent the Yorubas. And I'm gonna prove that to you. It's just a matter of time. They're gonna fizzle out by the time the real Yorubas, by the time we respond genuinely. What they have right now is the what you call the blood supply they are getting right now is the ignorance and the poverty they've created in Yoruba land. Once they meet their own Waterloo, once they eat themselves up, once they self-destruct, guess what? So many people will receive their own healing. They will receive their own kind of a clear picture of the whole thing. And you know what they're going to choose? They're going to see that Nigeria is not really for them. We all know Nigeria is not for us. And they're going to see that the way out is what? If they love Nigeria, they should break it up. Break it up and save lives. Trust me, it's going to be what they will come back to. But as you speak right now, we can begin. We can all begin to wish them the adieu. Adieu, Tifnumbu, adieu, Swagger, adieu, the political manipulation in Yoruba land, adieu to all of this, what have you. And then listen, don't continue to join them to say PDP is different from APC. APC is different from PDP. You are going to continue to sound so stupid if you ever continue to say that. Don't say that anymore. Nobody can now tell you and say, you remember when they told you PDP was this? And then they said APC will be different. Now APC is different, Abby. So it is like the Promax of a PDP. Now you know that PDP is controlling APC. The PDP is controlling PDP. There's no difference in them. You are just their own commodity that they are trading on. So if you don't want to be part of their commodity again, leave them behind and join the real struggle. Yoruba nation now. Biafra nation now. I am waiting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release just to complete the whole thing. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu is out and Oloye Sunday Igboho and the process, the transition process that we are currently doing, when he completes all of that, and you see these two great men and so many other men all over the place that are indeed no longer going to keep it quiet or stay behind the scene anymore. By the time these people comes out to the light, there's something that is going to take shine off at their 2023 charade. I am so positive about that. Yoruba Nation is going on to, we are going to go on to what is called the aggressive mobilization. This aggressive mobilization is no longer just online. It's going to be more physical this time. Very physical. And volunteers are already signing up for that. Are you with me? So there's a lot that is coming to take the shine completely off, the distraction called 2023. And some people said, Mayegun, listen, Bokwari is doing a great job. I said, how? He said, look at the job he's done so far to expose the fraud called Nigeria to everyone that comes from every part of Nigeria to know where they belong. Now everybody knows where they belong, except for those who are living the lie, hoping that maybe after Bokwari, somebody can convince them to believe in Nigeria again differently. But they know now, everybody knows their place. Fulanis, Awusas, Yorubas, Biafrans, Ijos, everybody knows their place now. Do you understand that? So, oh, hang on. Well, whatever. So everybody, every one of them know their what they know where they belong to. But however, you can choose your own battle now if you haven't made up your mind. Choose yours. I've chosen mine, and I've chosen to dedicate my time to it, which simply means we are not just going to, because you see, when you talk about the Yoruba nation, the breaking up of Nigeria, which is ideal thing to do, by the way. You break it up to save lives. If you love Nigeria, you will join the campaign, break it up to save life. But one good thing about it is that everybody knows their place. Nobody can hide that from us anymore, right? Giving them another chance, let's put it just like giving them another chance, validating any other fraud, right, is it's like somebody deliberately knowing that that drink is poisoned, that charlotte is poisoned, and then you deliberately, you're going to take it and drink it, and you're going to say, I'm just going to drink it with faith. Maybe I won't die. Maybe it's going to get me, I'm going to get a serious stomach upset and all of that, right? Then I'm going to be fine. Maybe I won't die. That's what Nigeria is a poisoned charlotte. Don't join them in drinking it. Rather than waste your energy, right? By the time Tinubu and gang, by the time all of their charade and everything hits the rock, Tinubu is going to leave Nigeria. He's probably not going to participate in the 2023 charade. Eventually, he's probably going to have to run away as usual and just disappear. Are you with me? So don't right. I'm picking up something, and I'm thinking that you won't even need to hear that. So don't worry. I'm going to have a quick break before we round it up. I'm going to pick on something, then I'm going to come and round it up now. So I wanted to take calls too, but it seems that we would have to, hang on a bit on that because of the time. So don't go anywhere. I'm coming back. Thank you very much. Sorry, something usually comes up, especially when my time is running out like that. So I would love to take calls, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I'm going to round up now. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So we choose our own battle. All right. I'm a Yoruba man. I want to build alliance. I want to build bridges with other people. I want the this message to become household messages where things we discuss in the house. And why do we want to leave? It's because Nigeria is not giving us any real deal, and they are not ready to have that conversation with us. They always want us to put our own identity into the second place, and then put on the identity of Nigeria that is quite undefinable. No, you can't really define that. Do you get that now? So we've chosen what we think is ideal, and we are proud to share that message everywhere we want to be, wherever we go, wherever we find ourselves, wherever we see ourselves. We want to have that chat. So tell yourselves, we are losing a lot, okay? Robbing us to save Nigeria. And if people say, what exactly are the Yorubas contributing? I mean, then please let's go, all right? Let the Yorubas handle their own affair. We have been handling our own affairs before Nigeria was eventually forced on us, okay? So forcing it on us, and those who have been benefiting it, I mean, this, right? They don't represent us. They don't speak for us. And we need to prove that, okay? So some of them will meet their own Waterloo politically, but you should never catch any feelings for them, okay? Do not catch any feelings for these rogues. Choose your own battle. Don't drink from their own poisoned cup, all right? Yoruba nation is worthy of a fight. The message is worthy of sharing. The conversation is great for families because it has to do with your history, your past, your present, and then your future. Conversations that Nigeria won't let you have simply means it is a conversation that is really, really ideal for you. And that conversation of freedom, conversation about liberty, free thinking, you know what I mean? Where you are not under the draconia stranglehold of some egomaniac, killers who gain power in the name of Nigeria. So the reason why, as a Yoruba people, why it is ideal to push and push hard and push very, very, very hard as well, that Yorubas deserves better from what Nigeria is currently offering Yorubas, and that those who are benefiting from this injustice, even if they are Yorubas, that they are benefiting from it doesn't invalidate or denies the cheating, the abuses, including the killings of what is Yoruba in Nigeria. The likes of Tinubu don't fight for Yoruba people. They fight for themselves. And then, you as a Yoruba person should never, ever be emotionally dragged into any of those fights that involves these, our ruiners, the criminals who claim to represent Yoruba people in all of this. If not, you will be enabling them too. And there's no sympathy for those who have no respect for themselves. As a Yoruba man, I respect myself a lot. And I want to see other Yorubas who respect themselves, never to respect those who disrespect us. Tifnumbu and the majority of the Yoruba politicians who are claiming one Nigeria, simply because of what they are benefiting from it. They don't represent us. They don't speak for us. They speak for themselves. And it is an insult to you and myself for them to turn around and say, nobody can divide Nigeria. When you see a Yoruba politician or a Yoruba king or one Yoruba criminal, all these Omuales in political offices, Omuales wearing crowns in Yoruba land, and we're calling them kings, Obas here and there. We have so many Omuales among them, but don't worry. The time we fish them out. Yes, the time we fish them out. And then at the time we deal with them as well in the course of this whole thing. If you see any Yoruba son or daughter, any Yoruba man or woman that tells you that Nigeria cannot break, nothing can break Nigeria, and they are saying it with confidence, right? I want you to know this. It is because of what they are benefiting from it or what they hope to benefit from it. You are a Yoruba man. You are a Yoruba woman. Be proud of who you are, okay? For years, for decades, Nigeria made you believe that your Yoruba-ness is given to you because of your Nigerianness. This mad belief is what we must change from the minds of our people, because like I said, there's so much poverty in the land. The majority poverty, I mean, the most difficult poverty that we must fight and deal with. It's not the poverty of lack or want, or let me sorry, or have. It's pretty much the poverty of the mind. They have impoverished the minds of our people. Their thinking faculties have been altered, brutalized, abused, and long-time abuses has completely destroyed the psyches of so many of our people. And these abuses are still ongoing. When you live in a place where there is no time or a plan when you are going to stop sleeping in the dark or in the darkness, when you live in a place where you probably have no liberty of going to or getting a proper education without having to break the bank, when you have when you don't have the liberty of having access to better medical care for your family and the rest of them, a place where you just have to make do with whatever they provide for you. You can't think. You can't reason clearly. An hungry man, they say, is an angry man. And then it is, they say, you are not you when you are hungry. Rather than end hunger, invest in the people. For 60 years, these rogues have been parading themselves as honorable men and women, X this, X that, governor this, governor that, while our people have been subjected to one thing and one thing only: survivor. What are we going to eat tomorrow morning is the concern of more than 80% of the Yoruba people who went to bed this evening. Yoruba families who are going to bed in Yoruba land today, 80% of them are going to bed thinking about, what are we going to eat tomorrow? What are we going to feed the kids? Am I going to get paid? Am I going to ever be able to pay my rent and the rest of all those concerns? So which means your thoughts and minds are always on survivor. How do we survive tomorrow? No thanks to the rogues and criminals who are flaunting ill-gotten wealth, stolen wealth. They call themselves rich people because they had the opportunity of being in public offices. They stole your money and they flaunt them right before your eyes, right before your faces, and you could do nothing because you need to survive. These narratives and all of them are the reasons why we should all know that the poverty we are going to be fighting in Yoruba land, the ignorance we are going to be fighting in Yoruba land, these are the things that cannot be seen. They are not physical. And therefore, when you are dealing with people that have been conditioned, abused, subjected to this kind of trauma for years, for decades, always have that at the back of your mind, that what you are going to be battling with is not really physical. It's not physical. It is much, much, much psychological. And I'm happy that my message does get to enough people, but just not enough. You get what I mean now? So that's why we choose this battle, and the battle of liberating and enlightening ourselves of the danger of our choices. If people don't know the danger of their choices, they will likely never want to be responsible for them. Mayegun's general, Mayegun's diary political, Mayegun general at the Temple of Truth. We took it upon ourselves to remind ourselves every day of our decisions, political and otherwise, mostly political. Your decisions to act or not to act, they all have consequences. And when you understand the consequences of your decisions or your actions, you are likely going to be able to control them. And when you are able to control your actions and your decisions, thinking straight enough to make all those decisions, you are likely going to be changing the result or the outcomes or the circumstances of all that you have witnessed. So this is the message. Once you know that when you do something again and again and again, you're going to get the same result again and again and again and again, you will only be a madman to expect a different result. Nigeria is not working. It will never work. The characters that have made Nigeria and brought Nigeria to this state, These characters are still at play. They are still there offering solution and then the way forward. You can't be part of a problem and at the same time say you are going to be part of the solution. You've done that before. We've done that. We've been there. We've been there. We've done that. So that's why many of us don't believe in them. We don't believe in Nigeria. But it still does exist. Legally, it's still existing. And by all rights, yes, by all rights, we have the right to say we don't want to be part of this anymore legally. And until that happens, you must always remember that nobody's going to do this for us. We will do it ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. We will save ourselves. And that is why I'm preaching it every now and then on Mayegun's Diary Political to learn. To my brethren, you, my brethren, learn how to hold your hands. In this time of struggle, tribulation and all of that, remember that you all have a common enemy. One single enemy. No matter those in charge of that single enemy, you must never lose the focus or your eyes or your gaze on the target. The system they put together in Nigeria is your enemy. The system is rigged and the system is the one that makes you a second class in a country that is supposed to be your own. Now, it is that system that is your enemy. It doesn't matter who is in charge of that system. An Hausa man, a Fulani man, an Igbo man or woman, Yoruba man or woman, Ijo man or woman, Nupe man or woman, a Christian or a Muslim, an atheist, whatever you want to say, it is that system. If you don't break it, it will continue to break you. I don't know how long we're going to hold. I just feel like there is strength in number. If a Yoruba man feels marginalized by a system, and an Igbo man feels marginalized by the system, and a Hausa man feels marginalized or left out by the system, scared enough to lose it to other people. A Fulani man is so scared to lose power to another people because he's so scared that he's never going to be protected. If everybody feels concerned and feels marginalized, the right thing to do is to have a conversation. But when they say there is no conversation, you just have to take it that way. Then you know that it is the system talking. The system doesn't know you as a Yoruba man. The system doesn't know you as an Igbo man. The system doesn't know you as a Fulani man. The system only understands you as a subject. If you don't follow the status quo, you are considered a rebel, an enemy. And it doesn't matter who is in charge of that system then. It is a rigged system. It has to go. And it can only go if everyone who feels left out, who feels marginalized, who is not part of the inner circle of the elite, as they call themselves, the criminals who brought us to our knees this way. When you hold hands on the temple of truth, yes, you may have your differences. Yes, we may have our disagreements. Yes, we may agree to disagree or disagree to agree, because we all have our different ways and approach. Different ways that we believe that we should approach this. But on Mayegun's Diary Political, the temple of truth, I teach you every now and then. I also admonish you every now and then to remember and recognize that you all have one single enemy, a system, the system that is killing you, the system that is killing me, the system that is keeping us backward, the system that doesn't even give a damn about you. Now, when you hold hands, and you hold hands in what do you call it? In solidarity. You hold hands in worship. You hold hands in comradeship. You are never going to see an Igbo man. You are never going to see a Fulani man. You're never going to see an Hausa man. You're never going to just see a Yoruba man. You're not just going to be seeing a Nupe man, an Ijo and Efik man. You're not going to just be seeing all these people. You're going to be holding brethren. You're going to be holding the hands of your brethren in the struggle, because the system that wants to kill him as a Biafran is the same system that wants to kill you as a Yoruba man. It is the same system that wants to kill you as a Middle Beltan. It's the system that wants to kill you as a Muslim. It is the system that wants to kill you as a Christian. If you hold hands, you can stop it. But if you go after it individually, you are likely going to be counting the bodies, the casualties, because these criminals, they hold no prisoners. And since if you go against that system, you are automatically considered a rebel. So if the system sees you as a rebel for disagreeing with it, who should you make your own fellow brethren? Just the same people who disagree with the system. You don't hate them. You don't hate their approach. You don't disagree with them to have them hung. You hold their hands. And that's what we do on the Temple of Truth. Hold our hands. Hold our hands. If our oppressors don't keep prisoners, why you they catch feelings for them? Why are you catching feelings for your oppressors? Why are you feeling somehow for your oppressors? They don't give a damn. They don't blink before the eviscerators. They don't blink. If they have to kill you to keep Nigeria one, they will do it, and they will do Thanksgiving the following Sunday in church. Thank you, Jesus, for this past week. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping Nigeria one. Thank you, Jesus. And everybody will still say amen. Do you understand what that means? It simply means you are just an awaiting victim. You are only waiting for Nigeria to happen to you. So don't just say it. You need to act it. Before Nigeria happened to you, then you self happen to Nigeria. Do you love Nigeria? Do you? Of course you do. Then if you love Nigeria, break it up to save lives. Think about that. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. I'm going to round up now, okay? Now, you can take a moment. Our time is back. UK time is now Niger time, okay? So I'm going to be going live every 8 p.m., except on a special circumstance or circumstances, okay? So from tomorrow, my friends, our starting time shall be 8 p.m. every night. The reason for that is that if we start from 8 p.m., we can possibly have 2 hours or 2.5 hours conversation, whereby we can also have calling enough time to do all of that, okay? So change your setting, change your diary, and change the time. 8 p.m. from tomorrow. And thanks so much for staying with me up to this time. We nearly clock 2,000 of us tonight earlier, and only 500 of you actually dropped your offerings. Shocking, isn't it? Well, you can do that now. You know that you cannot you cannot hold share, Ogun, the God of iron here. You know what I mean? In the Temple of Truth, like the video, share it if you haven't. It is one of the easiest things to do if you have stayed with me this long. Thank you, by the way. And I'm going to see you some other time. You all have a wonderful evening. At the same time, even a greater week. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Máyégún ti ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì àní ẹ̀ súnra kì lórí Facebook àní ẹ̀ súnra kì lórí YouTube àní ẹ̀ súnra kì bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì díjò ìgbádìyẹ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o àní ẹ̀ súnra kì gómìnà kówó jẹ àní ẹ̀ súnra kì ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá àní ẹ̀ súnra kì aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o àní ẹ̀ súnra kì òkúra olóṣèlú àní ẹ̀ súnra kì ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì àní ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibó níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.